Hello students, today will we discuss about literacy, literary importance of the naughty 19s. Okay. First, a revolt and mischief against Victorianism. Victorian age has been described as the best as well as the worst period in the history of England. The spring as well as the winter season of England. It was an era of peace and progress, material affluence, political consciousness, democratic and social reforms, industrial, mechanical, and educational progress, scientific advancement, and social unrest. Despite all the mechanism, industrialism, and materialism of the age, the Victorians were moralists at heart, and religion was the sheet anchor of their lives. The Victorians laid emphasis on order, decorum, and decency. To talk of duty, honor, the obligation of being a gentleman, the responsibilities of matrimony, and the sacredness of religious belief was to be Victorian. Okay. Next, are literary tendencies of last decade of 19th century. English literature of the last decade of the 19th century was characterized both by naughtiness and revolt against the time-honored tendencies of the Victorian era. Just as a reaction had set it against the neoclassical tendencies even at a time when Pope was at the height of this power. Similarly, the Victorian tendency had been sharply assailed long before the end of the century. No doubt Carlyle, Ruskin, and Arnold had made their reputations by flaunting the cherished ideals of the Victorian age. But the writers of the last decade of the 19th century went a step forward in raising a more sustained protest against the older values of art and life. Novelists, dramatists, and poets joined hands in playing a mischief against the great age was passing away. The literature of the last decade of the 19th century has been variously described as decadent, fantastical, and aesthetic. It assailed Victorianism, and the first casualty was the Victorian compromise in the socio-political field. Next, the aesthetic group. Aesthetism is a movement of late 19th century. As a movement, it was not well defined. It was one of the reactions against the materialism and commercialism of the Victorian industrial era. The onslaughts of Arnold, Ruskin, and Carlyle against materialistic tendencies of the time, the Oxford movements reverting to Catholic ritual in the Church of England, and the artistic pre-Raphaelite movement preaching the virtues of medieval culture make up the background to aesthetism, but its immediate inspiration was the writing of Walter Pater. Apart from Pater and his predecessors, aesthetics owed much to the current French doctrine of art for art's sake. What they remained, if sometimes not obviously, a typically English concern with moral values and issues. Next, Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was the best and the most memorable writer of the aesthetic group. He wrote poems, novels, dramas, short stories, and essays. He is the best remembered by the importance of being Ernest, the picture of Dorian Gray, and De Profundis in poetry, prose, and drama. Wilde embodied the spirit of the decadent school of the 90s. Wilde struck in various directions but not at random against contemporary standards of taste and morality. and more was probably essential as it was in his nature to be, but one feels that he desired a free society rather for the sake of the freedom it would give him than for the general good. Next, the poetry of the 90s. The poetry of this period was characterized by a note of pessimism, a tendency to ignore problems, and a tendency of not taking positive attitudes for or against current ideas. It was a period of growing and indecision, and this is clearly which was produced during this period was a poetry of escapism and a return to spiritual security. The poetry aptly represents the aspects of the French fin de siècle poetry. The pessimistic poets of the 90s include Thomas Hardy, John Davison, Ernest Dowson, and E. Houseman. These poets carried forward the pessimistic strand of the school of Arnold and Chloe Houseman, who was a classical scholar, became famous by his poem A Shropshire Lad. He also wrote a few lyrics of exquisite charm. Next, a fiction of the 90s. In the 90s, fiction was not only used as a medium of propaganda but also the spirit of romance was restored to the novel. H.G. Wells wrote novel of science and social criticism. The Time Machine of Wells is a scientific romance. The romantic spirit emerged in The Prince of Romancers. Stevenson's Iceland Nights Entertainment, The If and David Balfour appeared in the 90s. Kipling, The Jungle books are penetrating excursions of the imagination into books are the field of animal life. Next, the drama of the 90s. English drama had been dead since the late 18th century except for live melodrama, farce, and closest play of the poets. In a way, the first half of the 19th century was almost barren in dramatic production. It was in the 90s that true drama made a beginning in the comedies of Jones and Pinaro. The Comedy of Manners was revived in the works of Jones, Pinaro, and Oscar Wilde. Their works show the influence of the Norwegian dramatist Henrik Ibsen. With the advent of Ibsen on the English stage, a great change appeared in English drama. The man who best understood the new changes and most effectively expressed them through his creative and critical works was George Bernard Shaw. His first play, Widower's House, marked a significant break from the English drama of the 80s. Next, literary importance of the 90s. Okay. The 90s was a period in which we witnessed a revolt against the Victorian ideas of morality and standards of conduct, and especially the Victorian compromise. This short period in English literature was not an irrelevant episode in literary history. It had its importance to the importance of the 90s is that this decade seemed to represent in more than they think the end of 19th century and the beginning of the 20th. So many things in Victorian life either declined or come to an end during the short period, and so many things, most of which we associated with the 20th century, began their care in the 90s. Saw the recession of the Glades liberal peace and the rise of the new commercial imperialism, the decline of the old journalism and the beginning of the new, the end of the aesthetic movement, and the rapid rise from small beginning in the late 80s of the Fabian movement of informed social criticism, the decline of Victorian melodrama and the gaining popularity of the problem play, the passing of Victorian insularity and the rising influence of continental ideas, the decline in orthodox religion and morality, and the increasing prevalence of the less Puritan way of life, which had previously been the work only among isolated individuals. All these things and their related literature concerned the 90s either in the particular or in culmination. In the freedom from conventionality lies the source of Shah's advanced opinion. In England, Shah completed the movement begun by Ibsen. Okay. Mrs. Warren's Profession, a play about a woman with a past, is a study of the causes of prostitution. In this play, George Bernard Shaw shows that prostitution is caused not by female depravity and moral licentiousness, but simply by underplaying, undervaluing, and overworking women so shamelessly that the protest of them are forced to resort of prostitution to keep body and soul together.